Hey there, and welcome back to Adulting 101 Academy. I'm your host, Josh, and today we're diving into a topic that can save you time, money, and a lot of stress. Planning your meals for an entire week. That's the topic for today, and really is the goal for a lot of people. And I know this is something that can be tough, if you're a student or you are a busy professional, you have a family, lots of different things can come into play to make this difficult. But hopefully today's lesson can kind of share some different things you can do to help make it a little bit easier because when you plan out meals, it does save you time in the long run. It saves you money. It can help you make, you know, healthier choices, and it can also relieve a lot of stress. So, one of the things I really want to encourage anyone who's listening to this is listen to the whole thing about not only the reasons why, but different things you can do, different meals you can, kind of plan ahead on. And once again, it doesn't matter if you are a college student or you have a family with three or four kids, planning out your meals can be a big stress reliever, save you a lot of money, and really help you move forward with trying to accomplish different goals you have in your life. Because when you know that you have things planned out for your meals, it can make your time, your schedule flow a lot easier in a lot of different ways. So right off the bat, when you are planning your meals, one of the first things you need to do is assess your week. Now, this can be kind of changing from week to week. I know some people who have schedules that aren't the same from week to week, but then you have other people who their schedule is the same every week. For me and my family, it's pretty much the same Monday through Friday. Saturdays and Sundays change a little bit because we go do stuff, but on Monday through Fridays, I get up usually by about 5:30, 6 o'clock, get ready for work. I get out when I get out of the shower and get dressed. I make my daughter's breakfast. If I have to make them lunch if they aren't buying what's at the school that week, and then we have dinners at night. So for us, we get pretty busy. I mean, one of my daughters does dance. Both daughters do softball, and then there's basketball, and there's cross country, and there's church on Wednesday nights. So there's a lot of things going on. So when we plan out our meals, we have to look at all the things that are happening because you can't sit down and say, okay, I'm going to cook a meal that takes 2 hours on Monday night when you may only have 1 hour until you have to get someone to a practice or to a class, something like that. So you really need to sit down and figure out which meals you have that you need to make and then how much time you have. For me, like I said, sometimes I'll make my daughter's lunch for school, but that's pretty rare. Most of the time, they actually get lunch at school. My oldest daughter gets lunch at school every day because they have a pretty good selection of food, so she always finds something she likes. And for my youngest daughter, she gets lunch from school, at least 4 times a week, but usually 5 times a week. So I don't have to worry about planning that out a whole lot. It makes it easier. And then, as I mentioned, you know, dinners Monday night. One of my daughters has dance. During the spring and the summer, both my daughters have practice and games every night of the week. So we got to do something that's a little bit quicker or have things prepared ahead of time. Along with that, kind of, do you have any social plans or commitments? Are you going to be visiting people? Do you have different meetings or things like that? Do you have commitments? Are you going to sporting events or parties? All those things kind of go into assessing your week. And then also kind of know that there are some days that are going to be busier than others. There are some days where you get up and you have an hour to work on things, and other days where you have 10 minutes. So know the difference and kind of be prepared for that. Step two for this, for choosing your meals, make sure you choose a balance of things. Don't choose chicken every single night because you'll get tired of it. That's just the way it works. Don't choose hamburger every night either because you'll get tired of that. So make sure you're choosing a good mix of things and kind of throw some variation in there. If you do like noodles and stuff like that, then, do red sauce one night, do white sauce, really change it up, do different things to kind of make each dinner, each meal seem different. Along with that, like I said, do variety. Have different side dishes. Have different things that you can enjoy. So don't just have rice or noodles every night. Make sure you're mixing it up. Maybe it's mashed potatoes. Maybe it's French fries. Maybe it's just something simple like that. And also look for easy recipes. When you're trying to plan out things, don't try and get extravagant. I've known people who their livelihood was based around cooking and being a chef, and they didn't want to cook all the time when they got home, so they chose easy recipes, things that they know they could do pretty quickly, but yet still have good taste to it. Here's some examples of some things you can do as you're choosing your meals. One of the things is, have baked chicken. Grilled cheese sandwiches are always nice and easy. It goes great with tomato soup. Spaghetti is simple to make. Tacos, especially if you're doing spaghetti and then tacos the next night, you can cook enough hamburger for both nights. Makes it a lot easier, save some time. That's one of the things I talked about right off the bat is that making sure you're planning things out so that way you can save time and even do some prepping on the weekend if you need to. If you want to do something, fancy and you got more time on a Friday night, bake salmon or do a homemade pizza. Homemade pizza is actually quite easy to do. It just takes a little bit of time. You got to do the cooking and that type of stuff, but it's a pretty easy thing. Also, one thing that I recommend is having leftover nights. Make sure you're making enough food so you have leftovers for lunch or for dinner. That saves you time, saves you energy, also saves on your budget. Now, the big thing that really comes down to all this is making the shopping list. If you know what you're going to cook for the week, it makes shopping a lot easier and a lot quicker. I know for a lot of people, they end up ordering, doing an order online and then going and picking up from Walmart or whatever grocery store they have in the area. That saves a lot of time, saves a lot of money as well. I know for a long time, I would just go into the grocery store, and I still do this today, and just kind of pick out whatever. And then when I get home, I try and figure out what I can make with that. Well, I end up buying a lot of things that I don't need or won't use for a while. It's not the worst thing. I mean, I buy stuff that usually lasts for a while, so I can wait till a week or two to use something. But if you go in and you're not sure what you're going to have for the week, you end up just buying random things. And you may have to go back to the store to get stuff you missed or go back to get things to make an actual meal. You just don't have enough stuff. And maybe even then, you get to the point where you realize, oh, the only thing I have is sandwich stuff. And that's not what I feel like eating. So really have that plan, make sure you know what you're doing, and it helps you as you organize aisle by aisle as well. You know, some of these grocery stores have gotten pretty big, a lot of different selection. If you know what you're looking for, you can hit each aisle. You can skip aisles you don't need to go to. It's one of those things where it can help you out, especially if you're looking at like the candy aisle. I love going down the candy aisle, love going down the chip aisle. Those are two areas that I love to go down because I love buying stuff from there. But if I have things planned out, I don't have to worry about hitting those areas. So it makes it nice. And stick to your list. Avoid distractions, avoid extras. Now, sometimes you'll see like a clearance area. That's a good area to hit. But once again, be cautious. You're not just spending money to spend money. Something that a lot of people end up doing, especially those who haven't planned things out. Once again, you buy what you see, not necessarily what you need. And the last thing is to prep ahead, guys. This is something that is very difficult. I will admit I don't do this a whole lot of times, mainly because a lot of the meals that we plan at our house are something we can do pretty quick. Tacos, what, 15, maybe 20 minutes at the most, and we're ready to go. Spaghetti, same type of thing. Doesn't take us real long. On nights we don't have a lot of time, it's hot dogs and mac and cheese. So that takes probably 5, 10 minutes at the most. So we don't have to do a lot of prepping, but there are things we do prep on. So like I said, if you're cooking, meat for tacos one night, use some of that meat for the next night for spaghetti. That works out well as and makes it easier for you. If you're doing something with chicken, you can do a lot of things with chicken. You can do chicken sandwiches. I like doing that. And then also use the chicken maybe for an Alfredo or something of that nature. So think about that. No, I do say cook grains and proteins ahead of time. There's a lot of things you can't cook ahead of time. You don't want to cook spaghetti noodles on a Sunday night to use on a Wednesday. It's not going to taste very good, not going to be very good texture. But like proteins, chicken, hamburger, those things you can. You can cook a roast on a Sunday night and then use it for leftovers or something specific on Tuesday, Wednesday. It works. And then you can also use this to kind of help portion out your snacks. Know what you have to snack on. I like having, sometimes just a piece of chicken for a snack. Good protein, good and healthy. And so that's something I do enjoy, but we got to plan that. You can't just make enough for dinner and not have any extras. And then you don't have stuff for lunch, you don't have stuff for leftover night, you don't have a snack. So make sure you're thinking ahead and planning how much you want to get. Even if you're a single person, you can still buy and make extra with the intent of having it for the next day for lunch. But do make sure you're making foods that you actually enjoy. I know I've seen a lot of people who will cook something because maybe the cookbook said to, but they don't like it. If you don't like it, don't make it. That's one of the first things you got to realize. If you love spaghetti and you can make a bigger portion of it so you can have 2 days of leftovers, go for it. My family will do spaghetti on a Monday night, and I'll have it for dinner the next night, and maybe even dinner the night after that. I'll get some French bread and make a spaghetti sandwich. So there's lots of different options, lots of different things you can do when you plan ahead. And it also allows you to be flexible as well. If you know, hey, I'm not feeling what I planned for tonight, I can take tomorrow's dinner and cook it tonight and switch them. I still have the material, I still have all the food I need, all the meat, all the extra things. Just switching the days lets you kind of be a little more flexible, a little more spontaneous in terms of what you feel like that night, but still knowing that you have all the ingredients you need. So plan ahead, think about it, guys. I'm going to put some stuff in the description below with links to different recipes that I use. And I'll actually have a video coming out hopefully the next few weeks showing you how to cook hamburger, how to do spaghetti. I know there's a lot of people out there who don't know how to cook. They've never done anything like that. They've been on their own for the first time now as a college student or first time apartment, first house, whatever it is, and they need to help on learning how to cook. Now, there are a lot of great YouTube videos to teach this stuff. I'm gonna have some of my own to show you guys just how simple it is and how quick you can do that. Guys, with that, there's some tips and tricks trying to get you guys ready to planning ahead, getting your own meals going, and then just being ready to live the adult life. Thanks for listening, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time, try and have fun adulting. Catch the other videos I've got. Hopefully they help you out. Talk to you later.